Hey guys, Raj here. Hope all of you out there are doing well. Today I'm reviewing a fragrance from the house of Guerlain, and this one is a flanker of the fragrance called Habit Rouge, which came out quite a few decades ago, I think in the 60s. This one is called Dress Code. It's a fragrance that, as far as I can tell, is not really widely distributed around the world. I think it's only in their boutiques. I picked this up in their Paris... I picked up this sample in their Paris Champs-Élysées boutique, or it might have been the other one. I visited two. So Habit Rouge, it's definitely a classic men's fragrance. It's one of those where I used to own it, the Eau de Toilette version. And I also quite like the sport version. But I wouldn't say overall Habit Rouge is a line that really appeals to me. I found the slightly powdery rose floral notes didn't quite work on my skin, and not my favourite types of accords, to be honest. What about Dress Code? They've tried to gourmandify this fragrance. I don't know if that's a word, but they've tried to make it a little bit sweeter and add some of the more typical Guerlain DNA to Dress Code. I actually got this in this 4 ml sample, which they give to you in the boutique, which is pretty cool actually. And it comes in this vial. But, you know, you can't really apply fragrances properly like that. So I always transfer them to these atomizers, which you can get from, like, Google or... Not Google. The other one. eBay. Yeah. So what does this fragrance contain in terms of notes? Well, according to the Guerlain website, there's bergamot, there's neroli, there's rose, to be expected. They say there's spicy heart notes. They don't specify what. And they also say a woody leather base. But also there is tonka praline and vanilla. So on paper, I should really like this fragrance. A lot of those notes, in fact, all of those notes, I really like. But this fragrance doesn't really work for me. I'll go on to that in a second. I think that Dress Code is a fragrance to be worn, even though marketed at men. Women definitely could wear this fragrance. I feel it's a year-round fragrance. I preferred to wear it in cooler weather though. I felt it smelt better in those occasions. Decent amount of performance, longevity, probably about 7 hours, 7, 8, maybe 9 sometimes hours. Sometimes there were occasions when I would spray this in the morning and smell it just before I go to bed, but it wasn't really jumping off my skin. I would just get like wafts of it. I think also that this fragrance is more of a formal occasion, and to be honest, even the original Habit Rouge had a formality about it. So I've done a fresh spray probably about an hour ago, and I have to say it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and I'm not even sure that Habit Rouge as a whole is really a fragrance line that appeals to me. As you guys know, I'm a massive fan of Guerlain, but if I don't like something, obviously I'm gonna say. And I just think the opening 15 minutes is really, I think, quite bad. I really think it's awful. It reminds me of, I mean, it's gone away now, but the opening, there was this rose Turkish delight with a bit of hairspray vibes I was getting. Didn't work. It smelled really bad. It's a touch of powder in there, which didn't help the mix at all. And it feels very sharp and chemically in the opening. It smells a bit cheap, if I'm honest with you. Probably isn't cheap to produce, and I in fact the cost of this fragrance, I'm not sure actually what the cost of this fragrance is, to be honest. Probably like 90 euros, I'm guessing. But the opening just doesn't really work. It does then soften up a little bit, and what I'm getting now on my skin is this powdery rose that is starting to shine a little bit. Don't really get any bergamot. Don't get any of the woody or the spicy notes in there. The original Habit Rouge has carnation, which is a kind of spicy floral. I think that's pretty much how I would describe it. Maybe not the best description, but I know what carnation smells like, but I can't really describe it. And there is a bit in this as well. Kind of smells like potpourri. I'm not really sure I'm definitely sure that this blend just is not working on my skin. Maybe it works better on other people. I don't know. Praline, vanilla, tonka, no idea. I don't pick up on any sweet notes. I wouldn't even say that this is a gourmand fragrance, to be honest. which kind of makes me feel like maybe it's just my skin and reacting in that way, because I've seen other reviews, I've read the description obviously, and it seems to smell, it's almost like I have a different fragrance. I don't know. On here it talks about, in the fragrance it says, irresistible addiction, a gourmand facet, praline accord to reveal its true sensuality. I wouldn't mind smelling a bit of praline, a bit of tonka. I think Guerlain use tonka really, really well, and they do gourmand fragrances actually quite well. But this one didn't work at all. Just trying to think, have I picked up on anything? It smelled more of a feminine fragrance, to be honest. It does smell more. I'm not really sure like how many men are really going to be drawn to this type of scent. Of course, anyone can wear anything, but I think it leans more on the feminine side. It's a fragrance that didn't work for me, and even though I don't dislike it, I'm probably going to go with a rating of 6 out of 10, which isn't low, but it's definitely not high. So guys, have you had the chance to actually smell this one? Because I know it's not very widely distributed. Have you tried the original Habit Rouge? Do you like it, love it, hate it? Whatever you have to say it. Always great to hear from you guys and interact and like respond to your comments. Do appreciate the following, and check me out on Instagram and subscribe here if you like what you see. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.